And what's really nice is when we have events, the staff can hide in the gear room and not have to see the guests because they're all tech nerds and they don't actually like people.
All right, I'm at LiveX with Behnke. Corey, show me around.
Okay, I will. Welcome to LiveX. So one of the things I always tell people, 150-year-old cannery. This was the old Larson canning. We're here on the 3rd floor, right underneath Titletown Brewery, a rooftop bar. We got a patio we built out here when we first moved into the space. We moved in April of 2022, so we've been here almost 3 years. And you got our LiveX sign. Funny little story about this is the first trade show in New York I had this built for, and then we had it in storage in Colorado for like 5 years, and we finally had a reason to put it up here. Nice. The coolest part about this is, so all the Cream City brick you see exposed here, it's about 13,000 Cream City bricks. We also have it in our studio and also multiple places, our staff kitchen. And so Cream City Brick, we salvage it from Hamilton Manufacturing No. 5 in Two Rivers, Wisconsin. Historic place where, funnily enough, my great-grandfather was the manager of Hamilton Manufacturing No. 5. So I like to think when I eat lunch, I'm eating lunch around the same brick as him. Nice. So we have 7 employees here and 7 in New York and Brooklyn. Okay. So we started in Manhattan. We just moved our office in Manhattan to Brooklyn, and now we are in as well as Green Bay. So Brooklyn and Green Bay. This table is actually made of wood from Miro Manufacturing. You can still see the yellow safety markers. And then the legs were salvaged by the designer from a water tower in Two Rivers, Wisconsin, as well as this old growth wood, which I love these huge beams. They don't really sell that anymore because it's very hard to have, wood that gets that big. And we have some other pieces around here of that. And the big thing that makes this facility kind of like important are our remote master control rooms. So we've covered them in this cedar wood that we got from Amberg, Wisconsin, that was just sitting around for 70 years in a swamp. And then this is our remote master control room. So we have 4 rooms just like this. This one, you'll see we've got some stuff going on. Basically, we produce shows in here, so they're all connected, so we can actually have multiple people working on the same shows or different shows. We can also completely black out curtains, so if we want to, we're just in our own room, and now you have no light in me. So that allows us to isolate these rooms, so we can actually work fully confidentially to any client that comes in. So this is our study. This is where people come to kind of have their private sanctuary. The coolest part about this is we actually were able to salvage this from the Polium electric plant. That was a power plant on the harbor. Currently, Green Bay is building a port there. So where the new port of Green Bay is going, this was on a warehouse. This is actually a boiler wheel from the basement of this building. And you can always close it. That's some privacy. Okay, so this is our gear room. One cool thing is we actually have a sound rating for our studio, which is why these doors are so heavy. And we can actually move set pieces through here. So lots of cables, Cable City. That's the little area, little tripod area. And then if we have sous chefs, this is why we have a fridge in here. No, it is not for the crew to drink beer. And no, we're not going to show all the beer that's in there. But basically, when a sous chef comes in here, they're gonna cook food for the chef. And so this will be an area for them. And then we build people's studios. So we build studios like the one that we have in there. And so a lot of our gear is for that. And I did mention our control room is connected to our remote control room. So for large events, we actually had 46 people in here last November producing one show. So all of the rooms were dedicated to one show as opposed to multiple shows. And this is our broadcast brain with our comm system. So our ClearComm Eclipse comm system, captioning encoders, converters. This is our Ultrix, which has over 200 different feeds that go back and forth to each other. So broadcast brain, and then our main facility where we have our rentals. We have kind of when gear breaks and when we're making our our racks for our shows. And I told my staff they could not e-waste this, okay? The extra points for anybody that knows what this is. And the reason why is we don't have the power converter. I actually got this from the DNC. When we redid their new studio, I got this. Now, I'm a big fan of VHS. This is super VHS. These are fire doors from the basement of this building. They're pretty cool. And so what we'll do is, what I love about it is the designer of these, he took things, took things that you can buy nowadays, but you still could have bought back in the day. And then he took a piece and then added the pieces to it. So this was actually designed. And what's really nice is when we have events, the staff can hide in the gear room and not have to see the guests because they're all tech nerds and they don't actually like people. So this is our studio. Everything works. Got gas, dishwasher. It's all Heston appliances, a very nice brand. So a lot of chefs will know what's going on. We had some international chefs from all over the world in that used our ovens. You don't have to have grandma's china. You can actually bring your own branding. Newski's Bacon, I'm talking to you. But, you know, all our food manufacturers, the idea was to build a set that they could come in and have their branding and do cooking shows. We built this butcher block just for the camera. So it's really dark. So when you have lighter food, it pops on camera. We've got our overhead camera right there. And then, you know, I love Cream City bricks so much. So this one is really Hawkers. So CM Hawkers, Hawkers Brothers, and Hawkers. This is our 13-foot green screen. This is a top of the line green screen, fully plastered. You can walk on it. You can basically immerse yourself in any kind of virtual reality that you want. So full grid, and then we have a riggy track. So what that means is this track actually goes around the entire room. So we can put a proscenium anywhere you want. So it's kind of cool. It allows us to modify the room really, really interestingly. For instance, we can block out we just had an event here where we had 40 people looking, and you would have never known there was a kitchen. As a matter of fact, I pulled away the curtain from the kitchen and people were like, oh, there's a kitchen in here. So that was fun. So this is our largest control room. We have 5 in the facility, but this is our largest in the company. We've got some New Year's Eve footage from one of the worst part of the COVID years when they had these, because instead of audiences, they actually had these balloons, which I think are really, really funny. You can see how empty New Year's is there. But these are old versions of our show. So we have produced New Year's Eve in Times Square since 2011 as the Webcast. I've actually worked on the show for 26 years, but for the last, 16 or 17 years, we've produced the official Webcast. So in this room, actually, we distribute the feed all over the country. So next time you're hanging out in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and it's 11 o'clock, just realize there's 9 operators in this room running the show, which is fun to think about. This is our producer lounge. Ready Take Live is our live show on YouTube about live shows. And then this is our homage to Green Bay, Wisconsin. So on the top, these were all licensed from the Neville Museum in Green Bay. And on the top are primarily women canning cherries. Which mostly my understanding is that's what this floor was for. And then really cool, these 2 panels are the President Eisenhower outside the Northwest Depot. So right here is actually our patio, and you can see they had a patio on the same floor. So it's kind of cool to think about that kind of history being made. Another cool thing, this lower panel, Fairmont Dairy had a milk bottle that I really think that, Ryan and I are going to pool our money together and we're going to make this happen. We're going to put a milk bottle downtown Green Bay and it's going to be awesome. And so you can see it there, and then you can see it down Broadway here. And then also you can kind of get its scale. We're here in the harbor. We're actually here, and then you can see it over here. And this one I love because this shot is of East Downtown, but it really gives you a vibe of like, Green Bay has in its history on and off been a highly successful metropolitan area.